What is going on, y'all? Today is back, biceps, and a little rear delts at the end. I don't know if I'll show you them or not, because I never really record shoulders, but I might. I just might. I did lateral raises yesterday for the side delts, so we'll find out. It's so cold in this car. I always say that every time I'm on this camera now, but, you know. But today we're going to be hitting, obviously, I'm in the mix, right, of a T-bar row and a bent over row, right? I've been really enjoying bent over rows. They're just a fun exercise to really just really use a lot of power on and stuff. They're fun to do, right? Because it's like that berserky kind of caveman kind of, workout. You obviously need to control the weight and everything still to a certain degree. But at the end of the day, it's like a compound lift. You're really just trying to get that weight sometimes, right? More than, like a T-bar row. That's more just about squeezing. So I might hit some T-bar rows. I haven't done T-bar rows the last few times on my back days. So I might hit those just because T-bar rows are great for the most part, right? At my other gym, same company, whatever. They're not a company. I don't even know what it's called, but they have 3 different locations. And at the other gym, which is a little farther away, so that's why I don't go to that one much. It has the Nick Walker kind of, it's called the Humbler, where it has like the little D handles and you can like customize where you want the thing to be at. That T-bar row is amazing, but it's the heaviest thing in the world. So, when I want to track on my workout app to kind of see like how much weight I've done, it's very different, because I'll do like 3 plates in a 25 or 4 plates in this one T-bar, and then there I'm doing 2 if that, so it's a big difference with how much weight and everything you're using. But other than T-bar rowing, because I think that's what I'm gonna do today, I think that sounds really good. It's gonna be some lat pull downs of some sort, bicep curls. I don't know how much biceps I'm really gonna do, because with my job also being physical, I'm gonna turn this off. With my job also being physical, my bicep always gets tight sometimes, just with from me carrying boxes all day and stuff. So, and I worked in the morning today and everything else, and I gotta work tomorrow, or in a couple hours actually I'm working again. But so it's really just saying what I want to do. But other than that, do some preacher curls. I kind of got it in my head. I'm gonna do probably 3 sets of T-bar rows, 2 sets of a lat pull down, maybe another set of maybe another couple sets maybe of a lat row, maybe, and then a bicep curl of some sort, maybe another one, and then finish it off with rear delts. Super simple. I've seen a video of a guy going on a flat bench, going like this and then going like that for his rear delts, which with a dumbbell. I'm thinking about trying that today because it looks very simple and very effective, but I'll figure it out. But I don't think I have much more to talk about on this little lifted, so I'll see you guys in a second.
All right. So first move we got is a mid-back, upper back row. So we're going to be using a T-bar row. Just a great chest supported movement right here. We're going to be training heavy for these, and at the end we're going to be doing Kelso shrugs, which is the partial version of this exercise. Make sure you're retracting your shoulder blades together. And I did 3 sets, and I did around 4 to 6 reps. Now we're going to be working the lats, and we're going to be training heavy on this first set, and then the second and third set we're going to go a little lighter. Pretty much just get a really deep stretch at the top, squeeze as much as you can at the bottom so control the weight all the way through, and train very heavy and steady. Now we're going to be working the lat skin. This is a lower kind of lat emphasis rather than the upper and middle lat, which is what the lat pull down was for. But like I said, this works all the lats, so keep your elbow closely tucked as you can to your side if you can, like you can see there. And since if you do a deeper stretch, you kind of go forward and kind of twist. At least in my opinion, that's the way I get the best lat activation. but do what works best for you. Train to failure, and I did 2 sets, and I worked around 6 to 8 rep range. Now we have hammer curls to work on our biceps and breaking out. Let's give our a wider bicep look and better forearms. All we're going to be doing is just doing cross body curls rather than straight in front of us. Control the weight, train heavy, and I trained around the 7 to 10 rep range. I did 2 sets today. Now we got a preacher curl, just a really good exercise for the width of the bicep again, but overall just bicep growth. We're going to be training controlled and slowing the weight down. Make sure you train, moderately heavy. This first set, go heavier. In the second, third, and fourth set, go a little bit lighter. But like I said, train 4 sets around the 5 to 10 rep range. And at the end, you'll see me right now. I'll go all the way down, kind of swing myself up, and then just go slowing the way down to get the best bicep activation.
Yo. It's a good workout at the end of the day. But I gotta give a shout out to somebody. And it's, he's a big part of my life. I wouldn't be where I am today without him. Everything that I do is for him. And everything that I've been given, genetically, financially, physically, I think I already said that, mentally, everything, is because of him. And that's Jesus Christ. Right? I don't know if you guys are into that sort of thing. I don't know if you guys are into religion or anything. Right? But I do recommend, if you're in a rough time, or just, if you're in life and you're a little confused or lost, you don't really know what the purpose of life is, please go to God. I don't care if I lose viewers about this or if anything else happens. This is how I feel. Everything in my life that I've done, every battle, every chaotic moment, God's been there with me the whole time. He's given me strength for my workouts. He's given me strength for mental barriers. He's given me battles to obtain over, whatever not. If you are lost in life, please seek Jesus Christ. And I'm not saying that to get my views spiking or whatever. Now, like I said in the beginning, I don't care if I lose viewers for this. Please seek Jesus Christ. I've been, in a lot of moments recently, more in my life, in the past 4 or 5 years or whatever, I've hit new lows. And new highs, obviously, but a lot of new lows. Just with people, my own self, everything. I've lost a lot of hope over the years. And as a child, I wasn't really religious, I can't say that. But in my family, everyone believed in Jesus Christ, right? That was a thing that was well known. Is my parents, my mom, she believed in Jesus. My dad, he goes to God whenever he's in times of need. And, my grandparents, they're all religious, right? So I've been around a religious family. That's not to say that's the reason I am, but a lot of times, I never really thought about it. I didn't really think about much as a kid, but I would always do a lot of bad things. And as a child, I remember I had a dream about going to the NBA, right? I could have done things better, whatever. Now, that's not for me to rant about that, but there was a time in 8th grade where a player got injured and I was around the position that he was in. And my coach, I did a really good play, and he said, if you keep making more of those plays, you'll be able to play some. I can get you in minutes in the rotation. And that made me so happy because, like I said, my dream was to be in the NBA, whatever not. And I wished upon my, fellow teammate, I wanted him to be hurt so I could be in a position of being in a better position. And you know what that got me? A new low where I didn't play ever since that happened. I may have played 5 minutes in the game or, whatever not. Less than that even. But every time I would go out there with confidence in myself and I didn't care, about anything else, and I was happy to play, I played very well, and I played a lot. Every time I had a negative thought or I had negativity in my brain or anything else, I didn't play. And that was majority of my life a lot back then. And nowadays, I strive to have a positive mindset because of God. I used to not like myself. I used to actually hate myself a lot. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, genuinely. After basketball, I worked out and stuff, but I was so lost. And I didn't immediately get into God. I've really gotten to God this last year. And I've gotten so close with Him. My whole life, I was Christian, right? But now I can fully say I'm Christian. And I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and I want to be like Him. Please have positive thoughts every day, as much as you can. I get it. Life gets to us. We do things to make those things better, but in reality, it's not a good path for us. We self-destruct, or we go towards our desires, or, we're not following in the name of God. And a lot of times, whenever we're doing those things, a lot of times we don't pray. Isn't that the weirdest thing? Whenever you're doing something that you shouldn't, you usually don't pray. And that's the most confusing, well, not really confusing, but weird thing. That we let the devil consume us so often, and yet God's love is infinite. And it's so passionately. There's such a spark in that, And that's what a lot of people are missing, is that spark nowadays. I believe that God allowed me to pursue bodybuilding because basketball did not work out. I believe that He knew in His mind that if I continued to do basketball, I would have been a bad person and an egotistical person. Because every time in basketball, I would have thought it was me. I never gave any props to God. But that's all I can do now. Everything that in my life has equivalated to God. There's no and, ifs, buts about it. The person that He gave me, my wife, that's God's work right there. Undoubtedly. I would not be the person I am today if it wasn't for her. No doubt. So please, if you want to make your life so much better, please go after God. Please be a follower of His. No. Sorry. I'm not sorry for the rant. That wasn't even really, whatever not. But thank you for listening to that. You guys made it to the end. But on other terms, the lift today was pretty good. Okay pump. I did 2 rear delt exercises. I tried one, and it was it was like Jeff Nippard's, where you're laying on a bench flat. I said in the beginning of my video. Didn't like it. Didn't like it at all, actually. Not one bit. I'll probably have to just do my research about it, but I didn't like it one bit. So I just did a little one set of a heavy kind of heavy rear delt flies. Pretty fun. But on the other terms of whatchamacallit, back and buy, can't complain about anything. Nothing at all, really, to be honest. But I gotta be at work, technically in an hour, but I can be there like 49 minutes, but I can be there anytime since I'm additional help. So I'm gonna eat a good amount of food, go to there, and bada bing, bada boom, I'm gonna be done. So go to bed. But I hope y'all have a good rest of your night. Please keep at it with your dreams. Please search for God as much as you can. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.